What if I told you there was only 4 things you needed to do in 2025 to separate yourself from the competition and transform your business to another level that you didn't think was possible? If you clicked this video, you're probably a seasoned entrepreneur, someone who's been in business for a while, someone who's just plateauing and just can't get to that next level. The 4 principles that I'm going to show you, the 4 ways to create leverage in today's video, if you apply them in your life, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a aspiring entrepreneur, whether you are someone who just plans to work at the same company for the next 40 years, or maybe you're even a stay-at-home mom, stay-at-home dad, if you apply these 4 principles in your life, you are going to see growth. Now, my name is Bryce. I've been an entrepreneur for the last 12 years. I've worked with hundreds of different entrepreneurs. I've worked in various different industries, from sales to tech to acquisitions to real estate. I've touched it all. I've seen it all. And these are the only 4 things you need to do in your business in 2025 to see transformation. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is leverage? And there's an incredible quote from the famous mathematician Archimedes. And he said, if you give me a lever and a place to stand, I will move the world. And the sad part is most entrepreneurs, they don't understand leverage. Most people don't understand leverage. I myself, I thought it was a bad thing, specifically with number 1 that we're going to talk about. But most people don't understand leverage, and they look at it as a bad thing. And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a small business owner, sometimes you can feel guilty for wanting to take time away from the business, or having other people do things, or having code run so that you don't have to do everything, because for some reason there's a badge of honor to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But everybody, and myself included, if you're an entrepreneur, you got in business to hopefully make money and to live a life that you want to live. But sadly, most people get caught up and just don't want to change that image, and they get stuck just doing the day-to-days. They get stuck doing things that are below their pay grade. They get stuck doing just the daily minutia, and they don't see a way out. So creating leverage is the solution. Now, the only 4 ways that you can create leverage are labor or people, capital, money, media such as books, videos, audio, podcasts, you name it, and then coding. And now, breaking down every single one of those, let's start with number 1, labor. This form of leverage has been around since the beginning of time. There's been people used to build businesses, to build buildings, to build everything since the dawn of time. And this was the one I had the most difficulty understanding and the most difficulty wrapping my head around. Not for the sake of understanding, because I understand leverage and I understand yeah, you need employees, you need people to build a business. But I always felt, because I am so strongly entrepreneurial willed, that if I employed somebody that maybe they were older, maybe they were younger, but it just went against my values. I say, if I employ these people, I'm doing them a disservice. But I did not see through their point of view. I was looking from my point of view. And once I could wrap my head around, okay, I am providing them employment that they want, that they need to feed their families, to help their families, to make change in their life, then that's where I really started to change. And the biggest thing with labor, almost every business owner I meet has the same problem. Oh, you can never find good help. And so they either are dealing with churn and they're just cycling through employees, or B, they can't find people to come in. They're just like, oh, people want too much, they're entitled. And those are, I'm sure, valid. But if you are the leader of your business, if you are the owner of your company, it is your responsibility to make that form of leverage to help those people to be successful in your company. Leadership is a full-time job, no matter how you look at it. You can never be passive with leadership. You have to be active. You have to be actively involved. When you're a leader, it is your responsibility to provide your team with the necessary tools, the necessary resources, the necessary items that they need to be successful. And that could be as simple as giving them a book. But the number one thing you have to do is train your people. If you're not training your people, then they don't know. And when I say train, no matter how stupid you think it is, if there is not clarity in the task, they're going to get confused. And this is why I say leadership is a full-time job, because sometimes it can be annoying and sometimes you have to repeat yourself. And until you can create a system with one of the forms below, you are responsible for doing that. So make sure that you are taking care of that form of leverage, that you are creating the right opportunities, the right system, the right culture that these people can come in and be successful, and they can ultimately thank you down the road. Because I know some of my first employers I absolutely would not be here with if they didn't teach me some of the necessary skills to grow. And on the second side of the labor or people side of leverage is networking, your network of people. There's a saying that your network is your net worth. And I've met so many people that they complain about opportunities, they are praying and hoping that something will change, yet they haven't had a conversation with half the people in their phone in the last 5 years, which who knows could have an opportunity or something that they could help. You never know what's on the other side of that phone call. And so investing in your network, taking time to nurture your network, taking time to develop your network is one of the hugest forms of leverage, because that's going to pay back tenfold. I can count hundreds of different stories from having a network that I invest in, and it might be as simple as just giving a book. It might be as simple as connecting someone to another person, but there's so many different ways that we'll break down in a future video on how to invest in your network. But take the time to invest in your network so that you can create this form of leverage. Now, going back to what I said earlier, when I said I used to think this was bad, well, if it's a win-win opportunity for everyone, your intentions are to help those people, then it's a no-brainer. You should absolutely do it. Leverage is not a bad word, and it's not a malicious word. It doesn't mean you're using people. It means that you are shifting everyone forward. And that might not even be the right way to describe it, but you are giving an opportunity to someone who might not have an opportunity. Like if you are in the real estate industry and you reach out to your network, you're nurturing relationships, and you call someone, your friend, you're chatting, and they say, oh man, we've been working with this agent and they're terrible. We just dropped them. Like we never think we're going to find our dream home. And you say, hey, I'm an agent now. I have real estate connections. Maybe I can help you out. Well, there's nothing, if you've helped that family, your friends find their dream home, there's nothing malicious about that. Now, is that leverage? Absolutely, because you are talking to the other people. You are counting on another person to help you fulfill that end outcome of selling the house. And so as long as intentions are aligned, then you will never be using people. If your intentions are ill, if their intentions are ill, if there's something that's not lined up, then that is bad, and don't do that. The second form of leverage, capital. You hear it said, it takes money to make money, which is absolutely true. But if you follow number one properly, if you create an incredible network, if you create people that you can count on, you can reach out to, and you build a business and you invest in your people, you train your people, you teach your people to close deals, you teach your people to sell well, to add value to the industry that you're in, well, money is not going to be an issue. So you are going to have money coming in, whether it's from a connection you have who can get you some type of loan, some type of private money, or your business is just creating so much money from all the sales that are closing. You're going to have money that now you can reinvest that into your people. You can reinvest that into new tools. You can reinvest that into yourself to grow as a better leader. So the opportunities are endless. You can put it in the stock market, you name it. But the number two, which is also as old as time, people have been using capital as leverage or some sort of monetary denomination as leverage since the beginning of time. If you follow number one, number two will be no issue. And it's kind of like a revolving door, because if you are focused on number two, well, then that will help you with number one. So they both play into each other, but it's just a matter of where do you start. Now, I think you should be focused on both, and you should be doing whatever you can to grow both of those. But that's, again, another video. Now, number three, which is what you're watching right now, is media. And this could be books, this could be videos, this could be movies, this could be TV, you name it. But every entrepreneur and every older entrepreneur, they need to start to tell their story. They need to start sharing their wisdom. It doesn't matter who you are. You need to start building a personal brand. You need to start building a business brand, but you need to start recording videos with your face in front of a camera, your face not in front of a camera. It doesn't matter how bad it is. It doesn't matter what you sound like. I've been insecure with how I sound since high school. It does not matter. You just need to start making content. And it could be written content. If you absolutely will not talk in front of a camera, start writing, start a newsletter, start Twitter, or I guess X, start doing something to promote yourself. The reason it is so important is this video that you are watching right now is working for me when I'm not working. It doesn't matter what I'm doing, but this video is working for me. This is a form of education. This is a form of teaching that I don't have to repeat over and over again. I can teach this once, and then it's going to get thousands and thousands of hours of watch time. And it's all from one video. Now, how is that leverage? I just bought hundreds of hours, thousands of hours of watch time investment into you, into other people, just by recording this one video. So I don't have to continually talk about this. I can move on to other things and deeper subjects, but this video is going to be working for me whether I'm around or not. And that's the same with a book. If you publish a book, people can buy that whether they're in Japan, whether they're in China, whether they're in Russia or the United States. It doesn't matter where they are. That book is going to be working for you while you're doing whatever you want. And so as an entrepreneur, if you are a service-based entrepreneur, having educational content around how your service works, tips that a customer can apply at home without your help, is one of the best things that you can do, because they are getting value from you. You don't have to work, and they are still able to apply what you taught them. Now, you might be thinking, oh, well, I'm not making any money from that. And that's a very scarcity mindset to have, which is a whole nother story. But the more you invest in people, the more you add value to people, they are subconsciously going to want to add value back. And if you give them enough value through your content, through your media, through your books, through whatever source you decide to write, they are eventually going to want to pay you back, whether that's through being a customer or some other form that they will pay you back, and you'll see it come tenfold. And so if you are an entrepreneur, you have to get some sort of media. And if you are absolutely terrible for it, guess what? Numbers 1 and 2 can help you out. If you have capital, you can pay someone who is an expert to do your media for you. You don't have to figure out how to run a camera. You don't have to figure out how to use a mic. You don't have to figure out how to use a light. All you have to do is call the expert and say, hey, I need help. Find someone who's a good fit, stick with them for 6 months to a year, and watch your business grow. If you don't have money, guess what? Build your network, and I guarantee you will find someone who can teach you or help you to do your content. And if you build your network well enough, maybe they'll even help you out for free, and you can trade services, or you can negotiate some sort of partnership. The amount of ways that you can leverage that is endless. And the greatest thing is they all work together. It doesn't matter. If you start to apply one, it will feed into the other. If you start to apply two, it'll feed into the next one. So just start to use leverage. The fourth thing, code. Now, this is where I would lose most people, because they say, Bryce, I don't know how to code. Again, if you don't know how to code and you don't want to learn, pay someone. But we are in the greatest time, because AI is the next, it's here, and it's here to stay. Now, whenever I talk about AI, the first thing everybody says is like, oh yeah, chatbots. AI is more advanced than chatbots. I'm sorry to say. You might only see chatbots, but AI, automation, working in the tech industry, I see some very advanced stuff. And it doesn't matter what business you're in, you can create automations to help run your business smoother. For example, if you build just a calendar booking automation. Now, again, you could pay someone to do this. There's what we call no-code tools, so you don't have to know how to code. All you just need to know is how the process works, and you can put something together. So say you set up this automation, the client, they book a call or they book your service, and you automatically add it to your calendar. It automatically gets sent to whatever technician, whatever rep, whatever person needs to show up. And then reminders are automatically sent the day of, the day before, so everybody knows. An invoice is automatically sent. Once it's paid, they automatically get a receipt, and all that's required is the technician needs to show up. Now, that is a small example of what could be automated. You could automate any business process. You can automate any business process. I'm going to say it again because it's truly any business process can be automated. You just have to figure out how, and either A, find the right person to do it, or B, use AI, use the code to create a solution that's going to work for you. Now, the reason automations, the reason code, the reason this is so important, and number 4, and why it all, again, works together, is if you build an automation that is sucking up the time of your team. If you're a small business, say 5 to 10 people, you're doing good revenue, but your team members are getting bottlenecked, they're getting stuck on delivery, they're getting stuck following up, they're getting stuck sending invoices out, which is a waste of their time. They are going to be less efficient, which is one, kind of working, it's your leverage working against you, because now your team is doing things that don't light them up, so they are going to be less passionate about going to work. They in turn are going to work not as hard, which is going to create less money in your business, which is going to make you, the owner, more frustrated. So if you create code that can free them up, they will be able to pursue what they want to do better. And it could be sales. It could be if they're a technician and they actually like servicing, that can get them to more service calls. Just whatever lights them up, they will be able to work in their passions better, which is ultimately going to be better for your company. And the greatest thing, you never know who could help you with all four of these in your company. That's, again, going back to number one, why it's so important to build your network and invest in your people. If you invest in your people, you'll find hidden talents that you never knew had existed, because we all have passions. We all have things we like to do in our free time. You could find someone who is a developer. You could find someone who's great at social media. You never know. But it is important that you start to implement these four things into your business. Now, going back to number four, the thing with technology is it never goes backwards. We've never seen technology go backwards. I get that. I hear that all the time when talking about crypto and blockchain, which is something that I'm passionate about. But technology is not going to move backwards, and it's only going to get better. And if it only gets better, that means it's only going to create more leverage for you, the business owner. But you have to start using it now. If you're afraid of technology, if you're afraid of implementing these solutions, you have to get over that, because your business depends on it. Because if there's a business, if it's all things being equal, and you're competing with a business that has automated everything, their people are passionate, their people are working in areas that they actually enjoy, so they are energized, they will go all day, and you're stuck in if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself. So you end up taking over all of the work. You are going to significantly lose compared to that competitor. Now, business is an infinite game if you pick the industry right. You can go forever, and there's really no winners and losers. You could go by money, and it might be Elon Musk because he's rich, but you can play the game forever. So this system, using these four forms of leverage, are the only things you need to do in 2025 to grow your business. If you implement these, I promise you, if you implement these four, if you implement just two of the four consistently in your business, I guarantee by 2026, your business is going to be transformed, and you are going to see results like you've never seen before. Now, if you need help, or if you don't know where to start, or you are just completely out of the loop and just, are struggling, then reach out to me. I'm happy to help. But if not, then just take these videos, take the ones that are to come, and apply them and use them in your business, and watch how the transformation happens. We'll talk to you soon.